Princess Lyra of Zythera sat on her elevated throne, her silver hair catching the light of the crystal chandeliers that adorned the royal palace. The city below buzzed with life, hovercars gliding silently over skyways, traders calling their prices in alien tongues, and citizens moving with precision and purpose. Zythera was a world of advanced technology, where science and tradition coexisted, and Princess Lyra was its most prominent figure. She was known across the planet for her intelligence, her courage, and most of all her unwavering pride. Since she was young, Lyra had dismissed every male who tried to win her favor. Many had come with gifts of rare metals, ancient relics, or promises of power, yet all had failed in her eyes. Strength alone is not enough, she had said repeatedly. Wisdom, courage, and heart are required, and many of you have none. Her words were sharp but fair. No one in Zythera doubted her judgment. Lyra's advisors, loyal and cautious, often reminded her that ruling alone could be exhausting. "Princess, perhaps you should consider a partner," they would suggest. Lyra would simply smile and shake her head. "I will choose none who do not prove themselves truly worthy. Until then, I rely on no one but myself." And so the tradition continued. Male suitors arrived, flattered and hopeful, and left humbled or embarrassed. On this particular morning, a ripple of unusual excitement swept through the palace. Scouts had reported something extraordinary. A human delegation had arrived in Zytheran space, traveling from the distant planet Earth. Humans were a rare sight, and most Zytherans considered them primitive compared to their advanced technology. But curiosity was a powerful motivator. Lyra leaned forward, her elbows resting lightly on the golden arms of her throne. "Humans," she murmured, the word tasting foreign on her tongue. "How amusing." She summoned her chief advisor, an elder named Soren, whose knowledge of interstellar politics was unmatched. "They have arrived, Princess," Soren confirmed. "Their technology is crude, but their presence is significant. Humans rarely leave their own system, and now they come to Zythera." Lyra's violet eyes sparkled. "Prepare the reception hall. I will meet them myself. Let us see if these humans offer anything remarkable, or if they too will fail to impress me." The humans entered Zythera aboard a sleek silver vessel, far smaller than the colossal ships Zytherans were accustomed to. At the forefront was Captain Alex, a man in his late 20s with a calm demeanor and steady eyes. He walked with quiet confidence, scanning the alien surroundings with curiosity rather than fear. His uniform was simple, practical, yet spotless. Reflection of human practicality. The palace doors opened to admit the delegation. Lyra descended the staircase to meet them, her robe flowing like liquid starlight. Her expression was neutral, as if judging their worth silently. When Alex stepped forward, she raised an eyebrow, her first impression forming instantly. "You are human," she said, her voice clear and commanding. "I have heard much of your kind. Tell me, why have you come to Zythera?" Alex bowed slightly, polite but not submissive. "We come seeking knowledge and partnership, Princess Lyra. Earth is a world rich with life and ideas, and we hope to learn from Zythera's wisdom as well." Lyra's lips curved in a faint, almost imperceptible smile. "You speak boldly. Many males have attempted grand speeches to win my favor. Few have succeeded. Let us see if your actions match your words." She turned sharply, signaling for them to follow her into the grand hall, a room filled with holographic displays of Zythera's history and achievements. The human delegation marveled at the hall's beauty and technology, but Alex's attention was keen. He noticed the precision of Zytheran design, the way each light and surface was perfectly aligned, and the subtle symbols that marked centuries of tradition. Unlike others who might have been intimidated, Alex's curiosity deepened his respect for their culture. "Princess Lyra," he said, "your world is remarkable. It is clear you have built a civilization of intelligence and care. I hope to understand more about your achievements and learn how humans might contribute." Lyra's eyes narrowed slightly. She was not used to such calm respect without flattery or fear. "You speak well," she admitted. But words are not enough. You will have to prove yourself if you hope to gain my respect. Zithra does not reward talkers. Alex nodded. Understood. We are prepared to show our worth. As they spoke, the palace sensors began to flare. Outside, in the heart of the city, an unusual surge of energy was detected. Lights flickered across Zithra's skyline, and a low hum vibrated through the streets. Citizens paused, staring at the sky. The palace security immediately alerted Lyra. Soren approached her quickly. Princess, it seems there is a disturbance in the energy grid. It could threaten the city if it is not contained. Lyra's face tightened, but her voice remained steady. Show me the situation. A holographic projection materialized before her, displaying a section of the city where a critical energy core had begun to fluctuate dangerously. Sparks flew in the visual and the potential for damage was clear. She turned to Alex, assessing him carefully. This is your first test. If you truly wish to prove humans are not inferior, then show me what you can do. Alex studied the hologram, thoughtfully. I will need to understand the core's design and the control systems, he said. I believe I can stabilize it using both your technology and some methods unique to humans. Lyra raised an eyebrow. You presume much. Most would have fled in fear. Let us see if your confidence is justified. The humans followed Lyra and her engineers to the control center. Alex quickly assessed the machinery, making rapid calculations in his mind. While Zitherans relied heavily on automated systems and advanced algorithms, Alex's human approach was different. He combined observation, logic, and intuition. This core is overloaded, he explained, pointing at several unstable nodes. If we reroute the energy temporarily and reinforce the safety protocols manually, we can prevent a meltdown. The Zitheran engineers exchanged uncertain glances. Manual intervention was considered outdated and risky, yet Alex's calm confidence inspired them to act. Working alongside the humans, they executed the plan. Sweat beaded on brows as sparks flew, alarms blared, and tension filled the room. Minutes felt like hours. But slowly the core stabilized. Lights returned to normal, and the city below resumed its rhythm. Lyra watched silently, her pride battling her growing respect for the human before her. Finally, she spoke. You have succeeded where I expected failure. Humans, perhaps you are not as weak as I thought. Alex inclined his head respectfully. Thank you, Princess. I am glad I could help. Lyra turned away, her voice soft but firm. Do not mistake this for approval. One success does not earn your place here. But you have caught my attention. Soren, ever observant, whispered, Princess, you are impressed. Shall I record this as a rare compliment? Lyra's lips twitched, in the faintest of smiles. Perhaps, she said. Then addressing Alex once more, rest well. Tomorrow, you will face new trials. If you hope to remain in my favor, your actions must continue to speak louder than your words. Alex bowed again, understanding the challenge ahead. Yet he felt a spark of excitement. In a world so different from his own, he had already begun to make a mark. Not through power, but through ingenuity, courage, and calm reasoning. Lyra returned to her balcony, gazing at the city with a mixture of pride and thoughtfulness. The humans were unlike any males she had dismissed before. Captain, Alex had changed something, though she would not yet admit what. Her mind raced with curiosity, and for the first time in years a hint of anticipation. The stars above Zithra twinkled as if aware of the unfolding events. A new chapter was beginning, one where a human might challenge not only the traditions of a proud princess but also the future of an entire world. The sun rose over Zithra, casting a soft violet glow across the city. Princess Lyra stood on the balcony of her palace, her arms folded, watching the humans move about the palace grounds. Captain Alex, the human who had stabilized the energy core, walked among her engineers, examining the systems with careful attention. Lyra's mind was restless. She had faced countless suitors, each hoping to win her favor with wealth, gifts, or clever words. Yet none had made her pause. None had made her rethink her assumptions. And now, a human, a creature she had once considered insignificant, had done just that. She turned to Soren, her chief advisor. This human, Alex, he is unlike any male I have ever encountered. He is clever, yet calm. Strong, yet gentle. I do not understand it fully. Soren smiled faintly. Perhaps that is because humans think differently. They rely on intuition, creativity, and adaptability, qualities many of our males have lost in their rigid traditions. Lyra frowned, thoughtfully. Adaptability? Yes. That is something I have rarely seen in Zitharan males. Let us observe him further. I wish to understand him and perhaps learn if humans truly deserve respect. Alex had spent the night reviewing Zithara's city systems, making notes and suggesting improvements to the engineers. Unlike Zitharans who trusted automation above all else, he believed in combining technology with human problem-solving. By morning, he had devised a method to optimize energy distribution across the city, ensuring that no single sector would risk overload again. When Lyra summoned him to the royal chamber, he approached with quiet confidence. She studied him carefully, noting how he carried himself. Not with arrogance, but with purpose. Captain Alex, she said, her voice steady. Your actions yesterday were surprising. Tell me, what is it about humans that allows you to succeed where others fail? Alex thought for a moment before answering. Princess, humans have faced many challenges on our planet. We have learned to adapt quickly, to solve problems with whatever resources we have. It may seem simple, but sometimes simplicity is the key to success. Lyra's eyes narrowed slightly. Interesting. You speak with humility, yet you display great skill. I wonder if this is merely confidence or true ability. Alex bowed respectfully. I will let my actions speak, Princess. Words alone are not enough. Lyra decided to test Alex further. She summoned a group of Zitharan males, who had been dismissed in the past, each eager to prove themselves. Today, she said, you will all demonstrate your ability to solve a critical problem. One human stands among you. Let us see who proves most capable. The challenge was set in the palace training grounds, where a simulated city system had been constructed. Lights flickered, small drones moved about, and energy nodes needed to be controlled. The task seemed simple, but each participant soon realized the complexity of coordinating systems under time pressure. The Zitharan males relied on precision algorithms and preset commands. Most struggled when unexpected events occurred. A drone malfunctioned, a power surge appeared, or a node failed. They panicked, hesitated, or attempted to force the system to comply with rigid procedures. Alex, however, remained calm. He observed the failures, quickly adjusted his approach, and used both Zitharan technology and human ingenuity to overcome each obstacle. He rerouted energy when necessary, manually controlled critical nodes, and even improvised when drones behaved unpredictably. Lyra watched from her elevated platform, her expression carefully neutral. She did not want to reveal how impressed she was, yet each success by the human caused her to reconsider her assumptions. By the end of the trial, Alex had completed the task flawlessly. The Zitharan males had struggled, many failing to stabilize, even one section of the simulation. Lyra's advisors murmured among themselves, acknowledging the human's brilliance in whispers. Lyra finally spoke, her tone calm but commanding. Captain Alex, you have succeeded where many of our own have faltered. Humans, perhaps your kind is not as primitive as I once believed. Alex bowed. Thank you, Princess. I only applied what I have learned through experience. I hope it is of service to Zithara. The day continued with Alex assisting in real-world applications. He worked alongside Zitharan engineers to improve transportation systems, optimize energy distribution, and develop contingency plans for future crises. Each time, his human methods complemented the Zitharan technology, blending efficiency with creativity. Lyra observed silently, taking notes in her mind. She had always valued intelligence, but Alex's combination of courage, logic, and adaptability fascinated her. For the first time, she questioned the traditions that had guided her choices for so long. Could it be that humans, a species she had dismissed repeatedly, possessed qualities Zitharan males lacked? As the sun began to set, Lyra invited Alex to the palace gardens. The gardens were a blend of natural beauty and technology, floating water streams, glowing plants, and carefully designed pathways that responded to touch. It was a place of reflection, favored by royalty for contemplation and discussion. "Captain Alex," Lyra said, "today you have proven your skill and wisdom, yet I sense there is more to you than these abilities. Tell me, why do you come to help Zithara? What drives you?" Alex looked around at the glowing flowers and softly flowing water. "Princess, humans are explorers by nature. We are curious, and we value life, knowledge, and friendship. I came here not just to learn, but to share what I can. I believe that, by working together, humans and Zitharans can achieve more than either could alone." Lyra considered his words carefully. She had always ruled Zithara with confidence, relying on tradition and her own judgment. Yet Alex's perspective was different. He valued collaboration, problem-solving, and respect for life. It was a perspective she had rarely seen and one that intrigued her deeply. "You speak wisely," she admitted, her voice softer than usual. "Humans, you may have lessons to teach us despite your simplicity." Alex smiled faintly. "I believe we all have something to learn from one another, Princess." The next morning, Lyra observed the city from her balcony as Alex walked among the citizens. He spoke with workers, engineers, and even children, asking questions and offering solutions. His humility and courage were evident, and Zitharans who had been skeptical began to trust him. Lyra's prideful heart wrestled with her growing admiration. She had dismissed countless males before, yet Alex was different. Not only had he proven his intelligence, but he had also shown courage, adaptability, and respect for Zitharan culture. She realized that her own assumptions had been limited, and that humans might indeed be worthy of recognition. Soren approached her quietly. "Princess, you are observing him closely. Do you feel respect for this human?" Lyra's eyes met, the horizon. "Respect, yes, but also curiosity. He is unlike any male I have met. I must watch him carefully, for he may challenge not only my expectations, but also my own pride." That evening, an unexpected event tested both Lyra and Alex. Once again, a minor quake struck the outskirts of the city, threatening a residential sector. Citizens panicked as buildings shook and energy lines flickered dangerously. The palace alarmed immediately. Lyra reacted quickly, sending her guards to evacuate civilians. Yet she knew the situation required more than brute force. It required strategy and calm thinking. She turned to Alex. "Captain, the city is in danger again," she said. "I trust you understand the urgency. Can you help stabilize the situation?" Alex nodded without hesitation. "Yes, Princess. I will work with your engineers to secure the buildings and reroute the energy lines." Working side by side, Lyra observed Alex coordinate humans and Zitharans, giving precise instructions and adapting to unforeseen complications. His ingenuity, combined with her leadership, prevented disaster. Citizens were safe and the energy systems remained stable. Lyra's pride softened slightly. She realized that relying on others did not diminish her strength. In fact, it revealed the strength of collaboration and trust. As night fell, the city glowed under a canopy of stars. Lyra returned to her balcony, reflecting on the events of the day. Captain Alex had demonstrated human ingenuity, courage, and adaptability beyond what she had ever expected. For the first time in her life, she admitted quietly to herself that humans could be remarkable allies and perhaps even friends. She did not yet acknowledge the full extent of her feelings, for pride still lingered, but a seed had been planted. The proud princess of Zithara had begun to see value in the very species she had dismissed for so long, and in that realization, a new chapter of possibilities began. A chapter that would test traditions, challenge expectations, and perhaps even change the future of Zithera forever. The morning sun bathed the city of Zithera in a soft violet light, glinting off the tall spires and floating bridges. Princess Lyra walked briskly through the palace corridors, her mind focused on the day ahead. Captain Alex, the human who had surprised her with his ingenuity, would face a challenge unlike any other. Lyra intended to test him, and perhaps herself, more thoroughly than ever. She arrived at the royal training grounds, a vast arena of shimmering energy fields, holographic simulations, and intricate machinery. Zitheran males who had once sought her approval gathered quietly, curious about the human who had captured the princess's attention. Lyra raised her hand, signaling them to stand aside. Her violet eyes scanned the horizon, finally settling on Alex. "Captain Alex," she called, her voice commanding yet calm. "Today you will face a series of trials designed to test intelligence, courage, and leadership. You will have one chance to succeed. Do not disappoint me." Alex nodded. "Understood, Princess. I am ready." Lyra studied him carefully. She had dismissed countless males before, confident that none could measure up to her expectations. Yet Alex had already proven himself in ways few Zitherans had. His calm approach, combined with creativity and adaptability, made him an unusual challenge. The first trial was a test of intelligence. Holographic projections appeared across the training grounds, forming a maze filled with energy barriers, hidden switches, and complex puzzles. Participants were required to navigate the maze, activate the correct sequences, and reach the center within a set time. Zitheran males relied heavily on pre-programmed algorithms, moving precisely but hesitantly. When unexpected obstacles appeared, a holographic barrier shifting positions or a system failure, they faltered. Many panicked, uncertain how to adjust their plans. Alex, however, observed calmly. He analyzed patterns, tested solutions quickly, and used both logic and intuition to anticipate the maze's changes. Where Zitherans failed, he adapted. He rerouted energy manually, triggered hidden switches instinctively, and completed the maze efficiently. Lyra watched in silence, a flicker of surprise crossing her face. He had surpassed expectations. His success was not due to brute force or pre-existing knowledge. It was due to his ability to think creatively, improvise, and remain calm under pressure. "Interesting," Lyra murmured, almost to herself. "He does not rely on technology alone. He uses his mind, and it works." The second trial was designed to test courage. A simulated disaster scenario unfolded. A virtual city faced a violent storm. Buildings were unstable, and citizens, holographic projections, needed rescue. The participants had to coordinate emergency operations, evacuate civilians, and stabilize critical structures. Zitheran males approached methodically, but hesitated when unexpected hazards appeared. Their reliance on pre-programmed strategies made them slow to respond to unpredictable events. Alex, on the other hand, assessed the situation quickly. He gave clear instructions to both humans and Zitheran engineers, improvising plans when new obstacles arose. Using a combination of strategy, courage, and quick thinking, he rescued the simulated citizens and stabilized the city in record time. Lyra's prideful heart struggled as she watched him. He was human, yet he had demonstrated courage that equaled, or perhaps surpassed, that of Zitherans. Her advisors whispered among themselves, acknowledging his skill and composure. "You adapt in ways few would imagine," Lyra admitted softly. "Few Zitherans could achieve what you have done today. This is unusual." Alex bowed slightly. "Thank you, Princess. I only do what seems necessary to help." The third trial focused on leadership. A group of mixed humans and Zitherans was tasked with defending a strategic position from simulated enemy forces. Participants had to make decisions under pressure, coordinate teams, and manage resources efficiently. Most Zitheran males struggled. They were skilled individually but had difficulty inspiring confidence in others, especially when the situation deviated from expected patterns. Alex, however, quickly gained the trust of the group. He listened to suggestions, delegated tasks effectively, and encouraged collaboration between humans and Zytherans. As the simulation progressed, Alex's leadership became evident. His team moved with precision and unity, responding to threats with speed and intelligence. The simulated enemy was defeated, the position secured, and the trial declared a success. Lyra's eyes, sharp and discerning, could not hide her growing respect. "Humans," she murmured, "your ways are different. Perhaps there is value in what I once dismissed." After the trials, Lyra invited Alex to the palace council chamber. She wanted to understand his perspective further. The chamber was quiet, with only the two of them present. "Captain Alex," Lyra began, "you have demonstrated intelligence, courage, and leadership in ways that surpass what I have seen in Zytheran males. I must ask, why are you so effective? What drives you to succeed where others falter?" Alex considered carefully. "Princess, humans have faced countless challenges on Earth: natural disasters, conflicts, and survival itself. We have learned to adapt, to find creative solutions, and to value cooperation. I succeed because I rely on experience, observation, and the strengths of those around me." Lyra's expression softened slightly. She had spent years observing others, judging their worth based on tradition, strength, and protocol. Alex's approach was unlike anything she had encountered. He combined instinct, reasoning, and humility, qualities she had rarely seen in a male of her world. "You are remarkable," she admitted quietly, "and frustrating. You challenge not only my assumptions but my pride as well." Alex smiled faintly. "I hope only to serve Zythera, Princess. Pride alone does not protect a world. It is action and wisdom that do." The next day, Lyra designed a personal challenge for Alex, one she believed might finally test his limits. A remote section of Zythera's mountains had reported unstable energy fluctuations, threatening a small settlement below. The journey required navigating treacherous terrain, solving technical problems, and making life or death decisions. Lyra insisted that Alex face the challenge alone, believing the human might finally fail. Yet Alex accepted calmly, confident in his abilities. The journey was perilous. Energy surges caused the rocks to spark and shift. Holographic barriers appeared without warning. Yet Alex adapted quickly. Using both human ingenuity and Zytheran technology, he guided himself through the hazards, stabilizing energy flows and preventing disaster. When he arrived at the settlement, the citizens were safe, thanks to his quick thinking and calm decision-making. Lyra, observing from a distance via holographic sensors, could hardly conceal her admiration. "He succeeded again," she whispered to Soren. "I did not believe it possible. This human, he forces me to rethink everything I know about strength and capability." Soren nodded. "Princess, perhaps it is time to reconsider what true worth means. Captain Alex has proven more than skill. He has shown heart, courage, and wisdom." Lyra turned her gaze to the horizon. Her thoughts conflicted. Pride warred with respect, tradition with curiosity. Yet one thing was certain: Alex had broken through barriers that no Zytheran male had ever touched. That evening, the palace gardens offered a moment of quiet reflection. Lyra found herself walking beside Alex, her expression unreadable. "You have proven your abilities repeatedly," she said, "and yet I sense that there is more you can teach, both to me and to my people. Tell me, Captain, do you ever tire of proving yourself?" Alex shook his head gently. "No, Princess. Each challenge is an opportunity to learn, to help, and to understand others. That is the purpose of experience." Lyra considered his words. She had always measured worth through tradition, expecting males to conform to her expectations. Alex, however, had shown her a new standard, one based on action, intelligence, and humility. "You are different," she admitted. "I have dismissed many, but you force me to reconsider the meaning of strength and value." Alex smiled faintly. Perhaps strength lies not in pride alone, but in wisdom, courage, and willingness to adapt. Lyra's eyes softened slightly. For the first time, she realized that true leadership was not about dismissing others, but recognizing the worth in unexpected places. And Captain Alex had earned that recognition fully. The trials of intelligence, courage, and leadership had ended, yet the story was far from over. Lyra knew that more challenges lay ahead, for Alex, for herself, and for the future of Zythera. But one thing was certain: the proud princess had begun to see the value in humans, a revelation that would change her perspective forever. As night fell over Zythera, the stars glimmered brightly, reflecting off the palace spires. Lyra stood alone on her balcony, gazing at the distant horizon, thinking about the human who had challenged everything she knew. Captain Alex had proven not only his worth, but also the potential for humans and Zytherans to learn from one another. Quiet determination settled over her. The coming trials would test more than skill. They would test pride, trust, and perhaps even the heart itself. And Princess Lyra, proud and brilliant as she was, had begun a journey that would alter her understanding of strength, courage, and respect forever. The city of Zythera gleamed under a pale morning sun, its floating bridges and crystal towers reflecting light like 1,000 stars. Princess Lyra stood on the balcony of her palace, her hands resting lightly on the railing. Despite her calm exterior, her mind was racing. A new threat had emerged. A massive energy anomaly had appeared near the outer sectors of the city, a danger so severe that even Zytheran technology struggled to contain it. Reports streamed in from every sensor across the city. Buildings were shaking, energy lines fluctuating dangerously, and panic began to ripple through the streets. Lyra had faced crises before, but this one was different. The anomaly was unpredictable, and standard procedures were insufficient. It demanded ingenuity, courage, and precise coordination. Her violet eyes scanned the palace sensors, noting every fluctuation. She turned to her chief advisor, Soren. "This is serious. We cannot manage this alone. Our systems cannot contain the anomaly. It is unlike anything we have seen." Soren nodded gravely. "Princess, this situation is extreme. Assistance will be needed beyond the ordinary." Lyra's thoughts turned immediately to Captain Alex. The human had already proven his intelligence, courage, and leadership. He had surpassed every trial she had set before him. Yet relying on him now, it felt different. Pride, long her companion, struggled against necessity. "I will call him," she decided. "If anyone can help, it is him." Alex received the call immediately and moved swiftly to the palace command center. He studied the data projected before him: swirling energy currents, unstable power grids, and the potential for citywide disaster. His eyes narrowed with concentration. "Princess Lyra," he said calmly, "this is severe. But I believe we can stabilize the anomaly if we act quickly and strategically." Lyra's gaze met his. "I trust your judgment, Captain. The situation is critical. I need you to act decisively." Her voice carried authority, but also a rare undertone of vulnerability. For the first time, she admitted that she could not handle this alone. Alex nodded. "Understood, Princess. I will coordinate with your engineers and create a plan immediately." The palace command center became a hub of organized chaos. Alex assessed every sensor, every energy line, and every failing system. While Zytherans had advanced technology, their approach relied on rigid algorithms. Alex combined observation, improvisation, and experience to develop a new solution, a plan that required both precision and adaptability. Lyra watched, tension coiling in her chest. Her pride urged her to solve the problem herself, yet she knew deep down that Alex's approach was superior. She issued orders to her engineers, following Alex's guidance, and for the first time, felt the strange sensation of placing her trust entirely in another. Hours passed in a blur of calculations, energy reroutes, and careful coordination. Sparks flew, alarms blared, and the city seemed on the brink of chaos. Yet Alex remained calm, his steady presence inspiring the Zytherans around him. Finally, with a precise adjustment, The energy anomaly stabilized. The city's systems hummed back to normal, and the buildings no longer shook. Citizens cheered from their homes, unaware of how close they had come to disaster. Lyra exhaled slowly, relief washing over her. She turned to Alex, her usual pride, softened by gratitude and admiration. You have saved the city," she said quietly. I cannot deny your skill, your courage, and your wisdom. Without you, Zithra might have been destroyed." Alex bowed respectfully. "It was a team effort, Princess. Zithra's engineers and citizens worked alongside me. We achieved this together." Lyra's pride struggled, but she found herself speaking words she had never imagined saying. Captain Alex, I need your help. I have never said this to any male before, but I plead for your guidance. Without you, I could not have managed this." Her voice, soft and earnest, carried the weight of sincerity. She had dismissed countless suitors in her life, yet now she relied fully on the human who had earned her respect through action, courage, and intellect. Alex nodded gently, understanding the gravity of the moment. "Princess, I am here to help. We will face challenges together, and we will find solutions." The following days tested both Princess Lyra and Captain Alex further. The anomaly had left lingering instabilities in the outer sectors, requiring careful monitoring and frequent interventions. Alex worked tirelessly, coordinating with engineers, analyzing patterns and devising preventative measures. Lyra accompanied him during these operations, observing closely and learning. She realized that leadership was not about issuing commands from above, but about understanding, collaboration, and trust. Alex's methods were different from anything she had encountered in Zithra. He encouraged input, adapted quickly to unexpected problems, and remained calm, even under extreme pressure. One evening, after a particularly difficult operation, Lyra and Alex stood overlooking the city from the palace balcony. The sky glowed with soft violet hues, and the hum of restored energy systems filled the air. "Captain Alex?" Lyra began, her voice unusually quiet. "I have always believed that strength alone defined worth. Today, I see that strength without wisdom, courage without adaptability is incomplete. You have shown me the true measure of capability." Alex glanced at her, a faint smile on his lips. "Thank you, Princess. It is not about proving worth to others. It is about doing what is necessary, using the abilities we have and learning from every experience." Lyra nodded, her pride softened. I never thought I would rely on another. Yet you have earned my trust and more, my respect. I may even consider that humans are capable of more than I imagined." The words felt strange, almost foreign, yet they carried honesty and realization. Lyra had faced countless challenges in her life, yet none had forced her to grow in this way. Alex's presence had changed her perspective, showing her the value of humility, collaboration, and open-mindedness. The palace council noticed the change in Lyra. She had always been decisive and proud, dismissing males without hesitation. Yet, now she consulted Alex, valued his advice, and even followed his lead in critical operations. Zithrans whispered among themselves, surprised by the human's influence. Lyra, aware of the court's attention, remained composed. She did not act out of sentiment. She acted out of necessity and respect. Captain Alex had earned a place not through titles, wealth, or gifts, but through action, courage, and wisdom. One afternoon, a minor energy surge occurred in the city's power grid. Lyra immediately called Alex. "The system is unstable again. We need your guidance," she said, her voice calm but urgent. Alex arrived swiftly, analyzing the data and formulating a plan. Working alongside Lyra, he corrected the surge, preventing potential damage. As they finished, Lyra turned to him. You make me realize the limits of my own pride," she admitted. "I have dismissed many before, but you have proven that humans are not to be underestimated. I am grateful for your help, truly." Alex smiled, understanding the significance. Princess, it is not about gratitude alone. It is about learning, collaboration, and the courage to act when it matters most. Zithra's future is brighter when we work together. Lyra's heart, long guarded by pride, softened further. She realized that dependence on others was not weakness. It was a sign of growth. And Captain Alex had guided her through that growth, not with force, but with wisdom and action. The days that followed solidified the bond between Lyra and Alex. They worked together to strengthen the city, improve safety systems, and prepare for any future threats. Lyra began to see humans not as weak or insignificant, but as valuable allies with unique strengths. For the first time, she admitted to herself that her rule, while wise and just, had been limited by her assumptions. Alex had challenged her views, expanded her understanding, and shown her that courage and intelligence could come from unexpected sources. One night, as the stars reflected in the crystal towers of Zithra, Lyra stood on her balcony with Alex beside her. The city below was calm, its systems stabilized, its citizens safe. "You have changed my perspective, Captain Alex," she said softly. "I once dismissed all males believing they were unworthy. Yet you have forced me to reconsider. I would plead for your continued guidance, if you will have it." Alex bowed respectfully. "Princess, I will always offer my guidance and support. Together, we can face any challenge." Lyra nodded, a faint smile on her lips. Pride remained, but it was tempered by respect, trust, and admiration. She had faced her limits, recognized the value of others, and begun a journey of growth and understanding. The stars above Zithra twinkled, as if acknowledging the change. The proud princess had learned the strength of humility, the importance of collaboration, and the power of human ingenuity. Captain Alex had not only saved the city, but had also opened her eyes to a new way of seeing the world, a way where humans and Zithrans could stand as equals, allies, and perhaps even friends. The city of Zithra glowed beneath the twin moons, reflecting a mixture of soft violet and silver light across the crystal spires. Princess Lyra stood on her balcony, looking down at the bustling streets. Citizens moved about confidently, unaware of how close their world had come to disaster just days before. Yet for Lyra, the calm of the city was more than reassuring. It was proof of the strength, courage, and ingenuity of Captain Alex, the human who had reshaped her understanding of worth. She had spent years dismissing males, believing none could meet her standards. Pride had been her constant companion, guiding her judgments and reinforcing her independence. But Alex had changed that. Through intelligence, courage, and calm leadership, he had proven not only that humans were capable, but that they could also teach Zithrans lessons in collaboration, humility, and problem-solving. Lyra descended to the palace council hall that morning. The room was filled with her advisors, engineers, and the human delegation. She could feel the eyes of Zithrans upon her, curious and cautious. Many had never seen her acknowledge a human in such a position of respect, let alone plead for guidance. "Today," Lyra began, her voice clear and commanding, "we stand at the dawn of a new understanding. Recent events have tested the strength of our city, the limits of our technology, and the judgment of our people. In this time of challenge, one human has proven exceptional in skill, courage, and wisdom. Captain Alex has guided us, not with authority alone, but with intelligence, calmness, and adaptability." A murmur ran through the council. Even the most skeptical advisors nodded quietly, aware of the truth in her words. Lyra continued, "I once dismissed humans as inferior, believing them unworthy of our attention. Yet I have been proven wrong. Through his actions, Captain Alex has shown me and all of Zithra that greatness can come from unexpected sources. Today we recognize his contributions not as an outsider, but as a partner, an ally, and a friend to our people." Alex bowed respectfully, his expression calm yet sincere. "Princess Lyra, I am honored. My goal has always been to assist, to learn, and to share knowledge. I am grateful for the trust you have placed in me." Lyra's gaze met his, a mixture of pride, admiration, and warmth in her violet eyes. Trust and respect must be earned, she said softly. You have earned both, Captain Alex. In the following days, Lyra and Alex worked closely to strengthen Zithera's systems. They improved energy networks, created advanced emergency protocols, and trained both humans and Zitherans in cooperation strategies. The human delegation learned quickly, while Zitherans began to adopt new approaches inspired by human adaptability. Lyra observed with quiet satisfaction. She had always believed in the perfection of Zitheran systems, yet she now saw the value of integrating different perspectives. Humans thought creatively, reacted instinctively, and often solved problems in ways that Zitherans had not imagined. During one session in the training hall, a minor system anomaly appeared, a sudden fluctuation in energy flow. Zitheran engineers panicked momentarily, unsure how to respond. Alex moved calmly among them, directing adjustments, improvising controls, and guiding the team to stabilize the system. Lyra watched silently, admiration welling within her. She realized that leadership was not just about issuing orders, but about inspiring trust, understanding strengths, and acting decisively in the face of uncertainty. Alex embodied all of these qualities. One evening, after a long day of coordination and planning, Lyra invited Alex to the palace gardens. The gardens, with floating water streams, glowing plants, and serene pathways, offered a place for reflection and conversation. Captain Alex, Lyra began, you have done more than stabilize our city. You have changed the way I see strength, intelligence, and courage. I once believed pride alone defined worth. Now I see that humility, adaptability, and collaboration are equally important. Alex listened quietly, his calm expression encouraging her to continue. I once dismissed all males, Lyra admitted softly, believing none could meet my standards. Yet you have challenged that belief. I realize now that true value is proven through action, not words or titles. You have earned my respect and gratitude. Alex inclined his head respectfully. Princess, it has been an honor to assist. You have shown wisdom in recognizing the value of collaboration. Together, humans and Zitherans can achieve more than either could alone. Lyra smiled faintly, a rare softness in her expression. I see that now. And I hope that our peoples will continue to learn from each other, to work together, and to build a future stronger than what we could achieve alone. In the council chamber, Lyra formally proposed a new alliance between humans and Zitherans. She spoke of trust, collaboration, and the mutual respect that had grown from recent events. She highlighted Captain Alex's contributions, praising his courage, ingenuity, and humility. The council approved the alliance unanimously, recognizing that the combined strengths of humans and Zitherans would ensure peace, prosperity, and progress for generations. The announcement spread across Zithera, inspiring hope and excitement among its citizens. Alex was celebrated not as a visitor, but as an honored partner. Children asked questions, engineers sought advice, and Zitherans approached him with curiosity and respect. Through his calm guidance and ingenuity, he had earned a place in their hearts. Lyra, once proud and unyielding, reflected on her journey. She had faced threats, solved crises, and tested the limits of her own pride. Through it all, Captain Alex had demonstrated qualities she had rarely seen in her own species. His presence had taught her the value of humility, the power of collaboration, and the strength found in respect for others. She walked through the palace halls, observing her people and the human delegation working together. The sight filled her with quiet satisfaction. For the first time, she felt that leadership was not just about ruling, but about guiding, learning, and inspiring those around her. In a quiet moment, she found Alex once more in the palace gardens. "Captain," she said softly, "you have proven yourself worthy in every way. I no longer dismiss humans, nor do I doubt their abilities. You have earned my trust, respect, and gratitude. I hope you will continue to share your wisdom with Zithera." Alex smiled. "Princess Lyra, I will continue to help and guide. Zithera is a remarkable world, and it is an honor to contribute." To its future. Lyra nodded, her pride tempered by respect and humility. For the first time, she felt the satisfaction of seeing her world stronger, safer, and wiser through collaboration. The following weeks brought a sense of peace and progress to Zithera. Human ingenuity and Zitharan technology worked in harmony, creating systems more efficient, adaptive, and resilient than ever before. Training programs flourished, teaching both species to appreciate each other's strengths and to work as equals. Citizens of Zithera looked to the future with hope. They had witnessed extraordinary acts of courage and problem-solving, and they had learned that greatness could come from unexpected sources. The alliance between humans and Zitherans was no longer just an idea. It was a reality, built on trust, respect, and shared achievements. Lyra often walked through the city, observing citizens collaborating with humans and seeing her people embrace new ideas. Each sight reminded her of the lessons she had learned. Pride alone does not define worth, and true strength is measured by courage, intelligence, and the ability to work together. One evening, as the twin moons reflected across the city, Lyra stood on her balcony with Alex beside her. The city below was calm, its systems stable, its people safe. "You have changed more than just the city, Captain Alex," she said softly. "You have changed me. I have learned that strength, courage, and wisdom are not defined by pride alone nor by tradition. True greatness is found in action, humility, and respect. You have shown me that humans are capable of so much more than I ever imagined." Alex nodded gently. "Princess, it has been an honor. I hope this is only the beginning of a lasting partnership between our peoples." Lyra smiled, a genuine warmth in her eyes. "It is more than that. You have earned my respect, my trust, and my gratitude. You have helped Zithera and taught me a lesson I will never forget." The stars above Zithera twinkled as if acknowledging the change. The proud princess had learned to see value in unexpected places. She had faced challenges that tested her pride, her judgment, and her understanding of strength. Through it all, Captain Alex had proven that humans were not only capable but extraordinary allies. Zithera entered a new era, guided by wisdom, courage, and collaboration. And Princess Lyra, once proud and unyielding, had discovered that true leadership is not about dismissing others, but about recognizing their worth, learning from them, and inspiring greatness together. The city shone with promise, the alliance stood strong, and the bond between humans and Zitherans hinted at a future filled with endless possibilities.